Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda Sciola. I am a speech language pathologist and a C expert at Westchester Institute for Human Development. Today, we're going to be talking about the overview of FM systems, specifically the use of FM systems for auditory processing disorders to improve educational outcomes. So just an overview, auditory processing disorders include difficulties interpreting auditory information, especially spoken language, in a variety of contexts. This is with individuals that otherwise have normal hearing. The prevalence rate of auditory processing disorder is about 2 for every 1,000 children. I've also seen the statistic of about 5% of school-age children have auditory processing difficulties. This can be a standalone diagnosis, or it can be comorbid with other disorders, so co-occurring with language impairment, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, and even some motoric deficits. Central auditory processing disorder, or CAPD, is a specific type of auditory processing disorder, and it has to do with the central auditory nervous system and difficulties with auditory information being processed there. There could be a bunch of different symptoms that someone may present with. The biggest ones are really difficulty localizing that sound, so being able to determine where a sound is coming from. If it's in front of you, behind you, to the side, anywhere. Also, individuals with CAPD have difficulties understanding spoken language with competing messages. This can be two people speaking at the same time. It can be in noisy backgrounds, in echoing spaces with a lot of reverberation, and also when people are speaking very quickly. You might hear these individuals saying, huh, or what, or when they are listening to other individuals. They might also be inconsistent or respond inappropriately at times with information that wasn't actually shared by the speaker. Oftentimes, these individuals also have difficulties following complex auditory instructions, especially when they have to just rely on their hearing in order to perform this direction. You'll see an increase when there are visual supplements with that, but the key deficit of auditory processing is really that standalone process of just that auditory information coming in. You'll also see these individuals misunderstanding messages. They can have difficulties with melodies and prosody. This is the sing-song quality in when we speak. So not only is this important just to communicate messages, the stress of important messages, but it can also have a lot of social implications, especially when interpreting sarcasm or jokes. This is extremely important for school-age individuals. It can say something along the lines of, "No, I didn't mean that," versus, "No, I didn't mean that." We're using the same words, but our prosody is different. These key changes can be difficult for someone with CAPD, and they could be completely misinterpreting the message that their communicator is trying to convey. You'll also see these individuals have difficulties paying attention. They might be easily distracted, and oftentimes we'll see associated reading, spelling, and learning problems as well. FM systems are a great tool to help individuals with auditory processing disorders. An FM system is a device that sends an audio signal from a microphone or a transmitter to a receiver, which is some sort of hearing device. That can be hearing aids, cochlear implants, or specific hearing devices, especially for FM systems. As the name would suggest, an FM system uses FM radio waves to transmit that signal. FM systems can be relatively discrete. They can really be used anywhere, especially in classrooms, which will mostly be the focus for today, but older populations can also use them in office meetings. You can use them in restaurants, nursing homes, really anywhere that you can think of where there's heavy auditory information that you're relying on. So the way that FM systems help is that the speaker or the teacher will wear that transmitter has a microphone in it. That microphone picks up what that speaker is saying, and then automatically transmits that signal straight to the individual's hearing device. Again, that could be cochlear implants for those with hearing impairments, same with hearing aids. Or there are some other tools that are especially designed for populations that might have unilateral hearing loss or no hearing loss, but really benefit from that signal coming directly to the ears. What this does is it makes it seem like the speaker is sitting right next to the student. So it cuts out all of the background noise of the classroom. You don't hear the clicking of pens. You don't hear scooching of chairs. You don't hear the birds outside so loudly. Of course, you can still hear these things, but what happens is that the FM system really amplifies that teacher's voice above all of that extra background noise. It makes it so that the teacher's voice and the teacher signal is extremely clear. Through WIHD, we do have several transmitters and receivers available through loan, depending on the population and county. The transmitters that we have available through WIHD include the Roger Pen and the Roger touchscreen mic. The Roger Pen, there's a picture there, but I also have an example here. It detaches from the base, and the Roger Pen is extremely sleek. It's very disguisable. Oftentimes this isn't going to turn heads. This is really great for older school age populations and even adults. It looks very similar to a pen or a marker. You can place it right in the middle of a table, and it'll pick up that audio signal. Again, since this is a transmitter, it has a microphone built into it. And this one is unique because it can connect not only to FM, but also to Bluetooth. In order to get this started, you just press the on button, and then there's a connect button on the bottom. This can connect to various audio listening devices, including those hearing aids and cochlear implants, specialty hearing devices, and also headphones too. Another option that we have is the Roger touchscreen mic. This is used very popularly in schools, especially for school-aged individuals. It comes with a few different modes. There's a lanyard that comes with it where the individual can wear it around them. The teacher would be the one that would be wearing this in the lanyard mode. It makes it so that the microphone really picks up that teacher's voice, and the teacher doesn't have to worry about moving around the classroom. They can turn their back towards the students, and that student that has the FM's receiver can continue to hear the teacher even when the teacher's back is turned, which is something that's very difficult for individuals with auditory processing disorders. Lanyard mode is just one of the modes. Another one is small group mode. You set the device just on the table, and the sound is really picked up from all directions. This is really helpful for school projects or a small group talking. It'll pick up everybody in the group and again send that to the child's hearing device. This is really helpful, especially I can think of in science classrooms. If you're doing science projects, you might have several breakout groups and the classroom might be extremely noisy. It might be hard to not only hear, but focus on the individuals around you. So using this Roger touchscreen mic in small group mode is very helpful for that. A final mode is pointed mode. You can determine the direction where you want the audio signal to be picked up. So these are the two that we have at WIHD. Both of these have a built-in microphone. Both of these are available for loan. We also have a receiver available at WIHD. One is called the Roger Focus. It comes in this nice carrying case. This is designed primarily to help children focus inside and out of the classroom. It can be used for children with auditory processing disorder. That's one main population, but it was also designed to be used for individuals with autism spectrum disorder and unilateral hearing loss. Other individuals that don't have these disorders can also use these. Those with ADHD is a big population as well. Even people with normal hearing, but would just benefit from having the audio signal be directed specifically right into their ears versus having to hear and pick up all the background noise too. This is very small, very sleek. It fits behind your ear, similar to a hearing aid would, and it goes inside your ear canal as well. So sitting just on the back of your ear, especially for those with long hair, you can't even tell that I'm wearing it, which is very helpful, especially for those middle schoolers and high schoolers where image is a big thing for them socially. Another product that we have for loan is called the DigiMaster. The DigiMaster is a little bit different than the Roger Focus in the sense that the Roger Focus is made for individual use. So that audio signal is only being sent to the individual that is wearing that Roger Focus on their ears. Whereas the DigiMaster is a tower that can be set up in the middle of the classroom, and it acts almost like a speaker where it projects the sound to everybody in the classroom. The DigiMaster 500 is really helpful for teachers, especially because they don't need to project their voice as much. They can save vocal strain and not have to worry about their students being able to hear them. There are some other additional FM products that Phonak, the site or the company that sources all of these, has also come out with more recently. The Roger Multimedia Hub is a really great addition to the collection that they already have. There's a video that I'll share, but the Roger Multimedia Hub really allows you to not only connect maybe a touchscreen mic to the Roger Focus or someone's cochlear implants or hearing aids, but imagine being in a classroom and the teacher speaking, she's using a whiteboard, but then wants to play a video. Now, if the individual is just using this, the child will be able to hear this teacher's voice talking about that video perfectly, but they're still going to have to pick up the audio from that presentation through just the air. What the Roger Multimedia Hub does is allow you to connect the smart board and this device and multiple devices together, and it sends all of that information to the individual with the hearing aid, cochlear implant, Roger Focus, one of those. So let me exit out of here real quick. I'm going to reshare to show you this video.
Support. So let's get started. The Multimedia Hub is used to connect the Roger touchscreen microphone to other audio sources used in a meeting room or classroom, such as audio from a computer when watching a video, an MP3 player, or an interactive whiteboard. It can be used with a sound-field system to amplify the audio for everyone, or can be used by an individual student. The Roger Multimedia Hub will transmit the audio sounds simultaneously with the sound from the Roger touchscreen mic. This is helpful because both the teacher and the audio source can be heard at the same time. To switch on, press the on-off button on the side of the Roger Multimedia Hub for 3 seconds. The green indicator lights will flash until fully booted. To connect, place the Roger touchscreen mic within 4 inches or 10 centimeters of the Multimedia Hub and touch the Connect button. To check if you're connected, you can always press the List Devices button on the second page. If you wanted to just connect your Roger Focus, MyLink, or hearing aid directly to the Multimedia Hub, just press the Connect button on the front within 4 inches or 10 centimeters next to the device. Next, plug the micro USB into the Multimedia Hub. The USB on the other end then connects to your audio source. Here you can see it being attached to a computer laptop. Next, plug the Multimedia Hub into the audio out jack of the tablet or other audio source. Here it's being done on a laptop. Remember, if the Multimedia Hub is connected to a Roger touchscreen mic, the mic needs to be in lanyard mode for it to work. Do not set it down on a table or it will switch to small group mode and the Multimedia Hub won't work. Finally, when charging either with a USB power cord or in the Roger charging rack, The indicator lights will flash green, and when fully charged will shine solid green. So that's how you set up a Phonak Roger Multimedia Hub. Check out our other training videos or our website at www.accessyourhearing.com for more support. Thanks for
Okay. So that is the Roger Multimedia Hub. I'm going to stay here just for 1 second. Some other products that the Phonak system has is also called the Roger On, the Roger Select, and the Roger Table Mic 2. We're going to go to Phonak's website to take a look at these. This is a really great website that I really encourage you to look into outside of a presentation as well, especially if you're thinking of someone with an auditory processing disorder or wanting to learn more information about FM systems. So the products I'm about to show you are similar to some of the ones that I've already described, but they are new and improved. So the Roger On is most similar to the pen, where you can just place it in the middle of the table. It is very discreet. It has that microphone. It is a transmitter, so it has the microphone, and it helps in a various number of listening conditions. If I scroll back up, you can see this individual giving a presentation is wearing it clipped to them. So although this is an office meeting, you can also picture this woman being a teacher and wearing that device there too. The other FM system that we have is the Roger Select. This is similar to some of the other ones that have been explained, where you can set it down on the table and it picks up the information around you. What is very interesting with the Roger Select is that you can actually choose the direction or choose the speaker that you want the Roger to select to pick up. So you can think of this almost like an Alexa, an Amazon Alexa. So when you say, hey, Alexa, you'll see the blue light pop up, but then depending on where you are in the room, you'll see that blue bar of Alexa kind of tune in to that specific area. So it's a similar concept of being able to localize that sound to send a specific sound signal to the person listening. We also have the Roger Table Mic 2. Really, Phonak's description is that it works very well, especially for older adults in office meetings. Educational wise, I could see this in high schools as well, also in colleges too. Just being able to have a larger group of individuals at the same, maybe a long presentation table, and being able to hear what's happening on all sides of that conversation. The last new addition is also the Roger clip-on mic, which is very similar to some of the other ones. It just clips right onto you, and it's best for one-on-one conversations. It does also have a lanyard to be wrapped around your neck too. So again, these products are additional FM products. We don't currently have these available for loan at WIHD. However, as the technology increases and as there is need in the community, these could always be future purchases made. I did also want to highlight additional options that are available using your smartphone. So everything that I've described so far is using FM systems, FM radio waves. You do have to buy these specialized products and implement them in your desired setting: classrooms, lecture halls, office spaces, beyond. Now, both iPhone and Android products allow you to have similar features right on your smartphone. This really increases access to individuals and would particularly be helpful for maybe older high school populations, but especially college populations too. The first one I'll talk about is through iPhone. iPhones is called Live Listen. Now, what you do with Live Listen is you're able to swipe down on your control center using the upper right-hand corner. This has a lot of just hotspot buttons that many people access on a daily basis. However, when we add this accessibility hearing option, we can also do live listen, and that makes your phone become that transmitter. It makes your phone be the one that has that microphone, and it sends it to headphones, as long as you have those headphones connected in some way to your phone. You can use corded headphones. However, in a way, it almost defeats the purpose of using it in some ways, because you're already extremely close. It would help maybe in a loud restaurant if you only have corded headphones, but I definitely recommend using Bluetooth headphones to connect in this way. So I'm going to show you a little video on my actual phone being able to connect and use Live Listen. Okay, so we're going to scroll down on that upper right-hand side of the screen, like I said, that allows you to access your control center. Then we're going to click on this ear, which brings up Live Listen. You'll see I have my AirPods already connected. Background sounds isn't relevant for what we're talking about now, but if you have this available, you can put on some white noise. It can be even, I think, birds chirping. There can be ocean waves. This is more just kind of calming sounds that is available through Live Listen. However, through the accessibility shortcut, but Live Listen is really what we're focusing on today. So Live Listen is going to be off initially. You just click that space to turn Live Listen on. Once it's on, you'll see this bar here with the headphones being connected. What's happening here, there's no audio at the moment because, again, it's going through those headphones, but the phone itself is acting as that microphone. So you can place your phone next to the speaker, and when you're seeing this bar increase and decrease, that is really when the speaker is talking. What's also really great about this is that it shows you the decibel levels, that's the loudness levels, and just make sure that you're in an okay decibel level so that you don't cause temporary damage to hearing in general. Again, you'll see that. To turn off Live Listen, put it back really quickly. To turn off Live Listen, you'll just click this button down here again, and then you'll see that it's not enabled anymore. Live Listen is very, very helpful for individuals at college campuses, especially for those that are attending big lectures. Again, these individuals oftentimes don't want their accommodations to be broadcasted to the entire classroom. So being able to use your phone makes it so that it's extremely discreet. You can leave your phone up with the professor at the beginning of class, turn on Live Listen, mute all of your other notifications that might come in. And then just by using Bluetooth wireless headphones, you can be in any row of that lecture hall and it will sound like the speaker is right in your ear speaking to you. Pairing this with headphones that also have noise canceling features is also very helpful. This allows it so that if you just have one headphone in, you can still hear your neighbors around you, but you'll have that noise canceling on the right-hand side so that if there is any extra noise, it will drown that out, which is helpful. Again, this can be used for all the populations that I've mentioned already, those with auditory processing disorders, those with autism spectrum disorders, ADHD, or even anybody that just has some difficulty focusing. I will say when I tested this out, it doesn't work as well as some of the specific FM systems. The microphone here is not as sensitive as the FM microphones are. So depending on how far you are from that microphone, it will pick up a lot of extra noise. So it's not perfect, but I think this is the first edition of Live Listen. So you can expect that it'll get better and better as the technology continues to develop. Now, many people won't initially have this feature enabled on their iPhone. So I'm also showing a demonstration on how to enable that. So you'll see, again, we swipe down on the upper right-hand side to open the control center. Live Listen should be here on mine, but it's not there currently. We'll have to go into our settings in order to enable that. So go ahead, click your settings, you'll scroll down. Once you find Control Center, you'll click on Control Center. Scroll down again and you will see hearing right here. Just click this plus button. And when you scroll up, it'll now be added to your included controls in Control Center. Now, when we swipe down again, we see that it's there. Unless you go through this process of removing it, it will always be there every single time you swipe down from then on. Okay. Android has a similar feature. For Androids that are more new, it will also be automatically installed on your phone, but if you have an older Android device, then you can download it from the Google Play Store. It works very similarly, but actually has a few more specific features compared to Apple's Live Listen. So let's take a look at that.
First, I'm going to connect my headphones. Then, I'll open the Sound Amplifier app, tap the phone mic input, and then tap Conversation Mode. I'm going to tap Adjust Sounds and move the noise reduction slider all the way to the right, since that works best for my hearing profile. Then, I'll flip it to selfie mode and hand over my phone. Now we can have a conversation, and I'm completely tuned into Emily, and the competing noise is tuned out.
You'll see, I was just talking about how I would recommend using those wireless headphones. However, corded headphones will work perfectly fine. It'll just have to depend on how long the cord is for how far away you can be from the speaker.
So I was also thinking how winter is so freezing, so cold. I normally
This is
leave
what
for
I
a few
hear
months at a
without
time because I just
conversation mode.
can't handle the weather. But it's just so much. I'm realizing there's no really perfect time
And
in
this
New York
is what I
besides
hear
the
with
springtime and the
conversation
fall
mode.
when it's more temperate weather. Otherwise, you're really living at the extremes here.
That's a really great demonstration to be able to hear the difference without actually using it yourself. So you heard in that example how when a conversation mode was not enabled, it's a busy restaurant. Everybody's been to a busy restaurant before. Sometimes it can be hard for even individuals with normal, typical hearing to be able to hear those around them, and especially those down the line if you have a bigger party that's with you. However, with conversation mode tuned into your phone, you're able to drown out that background noise. It seems like for Samsung, it works just with one speaker, so it's more one-on-one. However, again, as the technology continues to develop, I'm sure that that will change. Okay, so an overview of everything. These are all the products that we talked about today. Again, we have our transmitters. The ones that are available for loan are these top four. We have the pen, we have the Roger touchscreen mic. We also have the Roger Focus right here, which could be worn behind the ear as a listening device. And we also have the Digimaster 500. This is that tower that can be in the middle of a classroom to project the noise outward. Some other really great resources is that Smart Hub, where you can connect multimedia devices. So not only can you hear the teacher talking, but if you plug it into a smart board or a computer, you can also hear those. You can plug multiple signals into there and it will all be sent to the cochlear implant, the hearing aid, that listening device. Some of these also are all FM systems. It uses the FM radio waves. However, I did also show you some options that you have just enabled on your cellular devices. This is using Bluetooth. So I did want to touch upon one popular study from 2009. This study looked at the benefits of FM system use with children with auditory processing disorders. The purpose of this study was really to see how an FM system can change educational and psychosocial outcomes for these children. And there were two groups. There was one group of children with auditory processing disorders, and this was defined as 2 standard deviations below the mean. There were 10 children in this group, 8 male, 2 female. They averaged about 11 years old and 8 months. They had normal hearing sensitivity and normal middle ear function. The control group included 13 children, 9 male, 4 female, similar average age. They also had normal hearing sensitivity, also had normal middle ear functioning, but these individuals did not have a diagnosable auditory processing disorder. Both groups were fitted with a phonic EDU link FM system. This one wasn't talked about today, but it would be most similar to the Roger Focus or something like that. Both groups were assessed using speech perception and psychosocial measures prior to an FM fitting, and then there was a reassessment of the same measures after 5 months. So there was also assessments of academic performance too. Both groups were assessed using common rating scales, including the SIFTER, which looked at academics, attention, communication, class participation, and school behavior, and the LIFE, which is a student self-report scale of listening issues in the classroom. These are measures that are typically used to evaluate children with learning challenges and also used specifically with auditory disorders too. They also assessed speech perception using the hearing and noise test. They looked at both quiet and noisy conditions. And speech perception was also looked at with aided listening devices, with the EDU Link FM system, and also with unaided system. So just normal hearing, nothing is being added to help with that. Psychosocial functioning was assessed using the BASC-2. There was a parent scale and a student scale. The parent scale looked at adaptability, anxiety, depression, functional communication, and withdrawal. And the student scale looked at attitudes towards school, locus of control, interpersonal relations, and self-esteem. We found that at baseline, compared to age and gender matched control groups, the children with auditory processing showed the following deficits prior to the FM implementation. They had significantly lower speech perception scores, decreased academic performance, and psychosocial problems, including anxiety and depression. This was related specifically to their hearing, although it could also be related to other just situational factors. The post measures afterwards is that children with auditory processing disorders increased significantly on educational scales, psychosocial scales, and speech perception in quiet and noisy environments. Specifically in the psychosocial scales, we saw that there is a decreased risk for problems related to leadership and functional communication on the parent assessment, and students themselves indicated that there was a decreased risk for problems related to locus of control, depression, anxiety, and interpersonal relationships. So on average, these kids, although they might have some outward mental health, psychosocial difficulties, they might still have educational difficulties too, just from the impact that their hearing has on their education and learning environment. However, we're seeing on average that these children are significantly benefiting from wearing these FM systems. And again, this was only within 5 months that they looked at pre and post test measures. Not only was an increase found within those 5 months, but there were also long-term benefits from using an FM system. This was seen on all 3 measures as well. So again, this really highlights the benefits of using FM systems, specifically for children with auditory processing disorders, CAPD specifically, but also other individuals such as those with ADHD, those with autism spectrum disorder, and also unilateral hearing loss in some ways too. Thank you very much for listening. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Nope.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but for like the live listen and the Android features, is there a way to like have a receiver connected to somebody's hearing aid for those?
Yes, yes. I'm glad that you asked about that. So I was talking about just using headphones, but if you have hearing aids that also have Bluetooth capabilities, you can connect your hearing aids to your phone, and it can sync up to your hearing aid as well.
Is there a mic that can go with it?
So
Is that
the
like-
the
like a-
microphone, it just uses the phone microphone. You could probably connect an external microphone to it if you wanted to wear it on your shirt, I would say, but that would also have to be through a Bluetooth system. You'd have to connect it to your phone and use an external mic.
It would have a Bluetooth microphone, yeah, because
Yeah.
that might improve the sound quality.
Yes, definitely. Very good. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you listening. You can find me, I didn't put my email up, but my name's Amanda Sciola. My email is ASCIOLA@WIHD. Thank you very much.